Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a review on the Ursula storybook from Elf. Now, this is a step-by-step guide to achieve your perfect villainous day and night look, and it's included in what they call a book. Now, if you're familiar about the Elf villains last year, they were more of a book formula or format. So here's Corella last year. And it opened up and everything was stuck inside. You had your lashes, your shadows, your primer, your lip brush, your lip pencil, more shadows, a liquid liner, and a lip and cheek color. So you got a lot. You got 2 lip products, a liner, a primer, lashes, glue, a mirror, and then guess what? This opened up and you got your day look and your night look, and it was really well put together. I mean, it was really nice. It was like an actual storybook. Now, I know a lot of people went crazy over the packaging because it really is nice packaging. It's like a little storybook, and it goes great on the shelf with those Disney princesses from Sephora. Win-win? I think so. Especially if you splurge on Sephora and then you kind of like go discount for the villains. They don't belong in Sephora. Anyway, they're villains. I'm just being silly. Now, Ursula's the only new one. We have Maleficent, the Evil Queen, and we have Corella included in the new set of the Elf Story Look palette. So, Ursula's the only new one, and I had to get her to match Miss Ariel in the Sephora collection. So when you open it up, you have this little thin plastic hiding all your goodies. Now everything pops out in this kit. This does have a magnetic closure, but I kind of really find it kind of cheap looking because it's a plastic thing that they pop out of. It seems like something you would throw away. So why would you have it as magnetic closure? So not sure about that. It is good that they pop out because you can take them with you. You can throw them in your purse. You can use them wherever you want. But I just feel like they tried to do too many things at once. It's like, oh, but we want it to look chic, and we want you to be able to take the things out. We want you to be able to use them on their own. We don't want it to be all stuck in here, but at the same time, we're going to put it in this cheap plastic packaging that looks like something you would throw out. I don't know. And then we have the day look and the night look. It's not as pretty. You don't get that picture. You don't get the mirror. You don't get any of that in this. You do get a step-by-step instructions. Now, as for the shadow itself, if you want to know the names of the shadow, it's on this plastic. So once you take it out of here, you don't know what the names of the shadows are. The names are only on this thin plastic. They're not on the back of the eyeshadow. They're not under the lid. They're nowhere. They're right here, and that's it. So that kind of stinks. Now what we have in here is we have a lip. I have everything swatched on my hand already. We have a lip product. There is no lip liner, as opposed to last year where you just had your liners that were your lip and cheek color. So they kind of undo. So you get no cheek products here, but you do get a lip color. It doesn't tell you exactly what it is, just says lip color, and it's in the color Ursula. It's an opaque gloss, but it does apply kind of milky, so it's going to settle into those creases. It's going to feather. You would definitely need to apply this over a liner, which is why it really baffles me that they didn't include one. And in the last year, when they had this product, they included your day lip, which was a lighter color, and your night lip, which was a darker color, whereas this year you get one lip color, and you have to make it work for both. Their focus was more on the eyes, I guess. You also get your Elf primer, which is absolutely necessary, and it's stuck in there, which is absolutely necessary for this kit, because without this, by the way, this is the Elf primer blended out. It's pretty skin tone, but I feel like if you blend it out on darker skins, it may look kind of like just too light. I think they should have made it, like it says sheer, but I think it should have been a little bit sheerer, because it's just too... It still stays too white. This is it thicker applied. It's dry now, as you can see. So it's going to keep your shadow in place. I mean, if I can go like this and it's not really budging, it lets you know that whatever you put on top of it's not going to really budge or crease either, which is wonderful. And like I said, absolutely necessary, because these shadows will do terrible without it, and I'm going to show you shortly. You get 2 liners. which I'm not really sure why they did that, because they're both dark liners. It's not like you got your day liner and then your night liner. No, you have two night liners. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You get your e.l.f. eyeliner pencil in black, and you get your liquid liner in Midnight, which is a very, very dark blue. As you can see here, it has just that slight reflection of blue, and the pencil can be blended out. You can do a smoky eye, but once it's set, it's kind of set, and I like that it's creamy, it doesn't tug on the skin, so that's kind of good. So not overall bad, I guess. Then you get your mascara, which, by the way, in comparison to last year, the sample of mascara is a little bit larger, because this is your, well, you have your liquid eyeliner here, and here's your mascara, just for example. So your mascara is larger. Your liquid liner from last year, you have a different kind of liquid liner this year. You didn't get an eye pencil with this, you just got the liquid liner. So this year you get two liners, you get the same amount of shadows, you get less shadows. You got 8 shadows last year, you get 6 shadows this year. You got lashes last year, you get no lashes this year, you have to pay $7 to get them extra. There's no applicator here, but this year you do get my favorite pencil, and I'm going to explain that in a minute. So there are lots of pros and cons, but if you have the booklets from last year, if you have Cruella, if you have the Evil Queen, if you have all those, I don't think you need to repurchase them. I feel like the colors, I mean, the price point is amazing, $10 for a lot of products, but I feel like you'd be more better off buying the products you want separately, and if you're buying it for the package, I feel like it's not even worth it, because it is something that you would pop them out anyway. But if you're a big fan of Disney and Disney villains, get it by all means. I think this is the most unique palette of all 3. The other 3 are very neutral shades. I don't even feel Maleficent's palette or the Evil Queen's palette really suit them, because it's all neutral colors. Like, I would have liked to see them be a little bit more adventurous in the colors that they offered. Here's the brush that they included. It's an eyeshadow brush. It's dense. It's the eyeshadow brush I always talk about. The patting on dense eyeshadow brush. This is it. I use this for everything. I use this to apply my shadow. Today I use this with my MAC. I use this with everything I own. Drugstore, anything and everything I use it with. And I have totally complete good things to say about it. I've had mine for 5 years now, and I've never really had much issue with it, whereas people tell me they get MAC brushes and they fall apart instantly. So, you know what? And by the way, you can get this brush for $1 on their website, so you can buy it on its own, and it'll still be pretty cheap, or you can get it in this set. But it's nice to see that they didn't include sponge applicators. It's a nice move away, especially for the drugstore. So the mascara, you have your lengthening mascara, you have a decent sized brush, really reminds me of the Maybelline, the pink and green brush. It really reminds me of that one. The Color Stay, I think it is. Now, as for the shadows themselves, like I said, once you take it out, you have no name. So, there's also a space here. Mine didn't come with a brush, so I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if you want to put a sponge applicator in there. I have all the swatches on my arm. I'm not sure if you can see them, but they are pretty sheer. I'm going to do a hand swatch too, but this is over primer, and I'm going to include a photograph so you can accurately see what they look like, including like which ones are shimmery and whatnot, so you'll be able to see that really clear. Now the first shade we have, like I said, I can't even tell what name it is because I took it out of the package. The first shade is Coral, and it's more of a mauve. It's not coral at all. It's definitely mauvey. And you got a decent shimmer in there, but when you rub your finger on it and you try to apply it, say over a primer, that's over primer, right? But on its own, it's really sheer. Like really, really sheer. Another good shade is Sea Witch, which is this pink. This really bright pink right here. It's a mauvey pink. Over the primer, again, it's really pretty, but on its own, not so much. But those aren't even the worst offenders. We have Shell, which is a green, a nice aqua. It's one of the best performing of the palette. Really well performing, but again, on its own, still very sheer. On the bottom, we have Kiss the Girl, which is this brown shade. And hold on, wipe my hand. Which is a brown shade. Really nice. Again, I'm going to show this all in pictures. Triton is a purple shade, well performing, but the worst performing of all is Bewitched. And it's this blue shade. I'm going to put this on my other hand so you can see. Here's Bewitched. Really sheer. And with the brush, let me show you how you can get color. So you take your brush, you sweep it back and forth, and you have enough on the brush, and you pat. That's what I do. But even so, it's still sheer. Now when you apply it over the primer, I'm going to show you the difference, because without the primer you're just wasting your time because of how sheer it is. So, put that there. Oops, I forgot my finger had that. But still fine. So you blend it out, you blend out your primer, and then you pat your color over it. And as you can see, much different. Much different. So you definitely need your primer, otherwise you're not going to like this palette, because simply the pigmentation is just terrible. Like I said, I find it really bad that they did not include the names of the colors. So overall, it's not the worst drugstore palette I've ever seen in my life. It's not. Certainly not the best. You get a lot of products for a little bit of money, $10. These are in Walgreens. People are snatching these up like hotcakes and selling them on eBay for $23. They're absolutely not worth $23. I would say don't pay $23. I'd say if you really want the packaging, it's just not worth it. It's just cardboard and it barely even stays shut. It's just not worth it. If you're collecting them, maybe it's worth it. It's all about your personal worth with this product, but overall, from a cosmetic standpoint and quality standpoint, it's not worth it. I would say pass and pick up something else. If you want e.l.f., if you want a cheaper cosmetic, pick up the e.l.f. palette. They have really big palette with lots of shadows, and I can guarantee you, if you pick up their primer and that palette of shadows, you'll get a lot more effectiveness than this set right here. So you can check them out. They're in Walgreens right now. I know a lot of you have said they're hard to find. I can't find them. I'm still looking for the lashes, so I completely understand. Thank you so much for watching, and follow me on Instagram. I'm Recycled Stardust.